Hello, everybody. This is Small Artist Radar, the podcast. I'm S. This is Sky. And that's Sky in all caps. So, Sky, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into all the questions?
My name is Sky. I'm 22. I just moved to Portland, and I make singer-songwriter music, but they can vary with genres I pick for that. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, awesome. So, my first question to you is how would you describe your music? Why don't you also give us a little introduction to your album that we're going to be talking about today?
Yeah. I mean, first, I'm always probably just gonna be a singer-songwriter. Like, singing and songwriting is my go-to before anything else. My album is a singer-songwriter, kind of folk leaning, a little bit. I hate to say like experimental. I feel like experimental is such a vast
I
word,
hear a
but
lot of alternative sort of
yeah,
deal. Yeah.
yeah, I'd say alternative for sure. And then yeah, so the one that we're talking about is mainly just singer-songwriter, kind of folk leaning for sure, alternative.
All right, and for everyone listening, the album is Skyler.
Yeah,
It is
subtitles.
absolutely incredible. I'm so sorry to all my friends and family watching this who I keep sending the album to. But my second question for you is, who are your main artistic inspirations? Who inspired this album?
So who inspired this album was like a lot of Elliott Smith and like Adrian Linker. Those are some of my favorites for sure. In general,
I can
I
absolutely hear that.
yeah, those are some big ones. A little bit of Daniel Johnston. I don't know if you've heard Daniel Johnston, but
I've
um,
not.
yeah, cool guy. But him, and then in general, like I listen to a lot of Geese, like Cameron Winter stuff. So
Yes,
those two
listen to
things
some
are
Geese.
yeah,
I think I hear some Phoebe Bridgers influence too on a
yeah,
couple of your songs that I think
definitely
is
some
really, really
Phoebe.
cool.
Bright
Yeah.
Eyes, I like Bright Eyes too. Like
Yes.
oh, yeah,
Okay, awesome.
for
Okay, this leads great into the next question.
for
So
sure.
I asked this to everyone. Who's your dream? It can be musical artist or non-musical artist, but artists, dream blunt rotation. Think like 5 people.
Like five people.
Yep.
Um, I'll go with. You ever watched Degrassi?
What?
Have you ever watched Degrassi before?
I've not.
Craig from Degrassi.
Okay.
Um, like Genghis Khan, just to see like what's going on. Uh,
Amazing.
uh, man, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, oh, maybe the Kool-Aid Man. He's pretty cool. The Kool-Aid guy.
The Kool-Aid Man, amazing. Okay,
Um,
2 more, or do you want to circle back at the end?
two more. I want to give like some abstract ones, but I think it would just be like maybe like Robin Williams. I'll do Robin
Yeah.
Williams, and then I don't know. I want to do something like vast for the last one. I don't even know. Maybe like Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption. I'll say him.
Okay, amazing.
That's
That is by far the most obscure lineup we've gotten in any episode of this. So amazing.
for sure.
Next up, I have some questions just about the album as a whole. It's the concept and everything.
Okay.
Could you describe the cover art to your album and why that was the visual that spoke to you for this
Yeah.
project?
So basically, the cover art is like some old photos from my mom's scrapbook. My mom lives in Michigan, but it's from her old scrapbook stuff that I found on Facebook. And one of the photos is one of the only photos of me walking ever because I got paralyzed at 2. So the
Hmm.
one on the far left, it's like I think it's like one of 2 photos ever. And then
Yeah.
the one above me in it is a picture of my sister who died. And then above it is the graves because I had 2 sisters that passed away. So I
Yeah.
had 2 that passed away, and then the only one that's in color is the one where her and I are together because that's kind of the only like bright spot of like what I'm talking about. I feel like was when we were like connected. So that's kind of what that was. So that's I made it black and white for the memories, and then the color one for the joy. You know.
That's that is such a beautiful concept for cover
Yeah.
art.
Thank you.
And it's this lovely, it kind of looks like a collage. I
Yeah.
really think everyone should go look it up. It's really lovely cover art.
Yeah, thank you.
Um
I worked for
yeah.
about like 3 days probably on it, so I really like that people like it. It's cool.
And it captures the vibe of the album very, very well.
Thank you. Yeah.
But let's go on and talk about you used a shortened version of your name as an artist.
Mhm.
Why did you use your full name as an album title?
I mean, Sky is obviously like the character, I guess. You know, like the
Yeah,
artist character. I feel like. But like this album was just like honestly just like very me. Like I feel like it
yeah,
was like me stripped back. It's like barest version. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
yeah, I just wanted to like fully express that this was like about me. Like this is a very like an internal dialogue that I have going on. It's almost like diary notes to me. So it's like if you were to write like whose diary is this, I would say Skyler's diary, you know. So I was just like, yeah. So I
yeah,
put my full name for it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That no, that makes perfect sense. I was curious about that. Then
Yeah.
my final question about like kind of the concept as a whole is the album deals with a lot of heavy and deeply personal themes.
Mhm.
Why now, and what are you hoping people get from the album? Because you make it very clear in the first song, you definitely don't want people's sympathy. What is
Yeah.
the goal of putting the album out there?
I mean, it's funny, right? Because like you put albums out because you like want people to hear them, but it was more just for me. I was kind of
Yeah,
starting. I was like I've been making music since 14, and I put out like some like shitty albums on SoundCloud when I was younger. But I was starting over, and I just wanted to make like a statement of like who I am and like my vulnerability and stuff. And uh, yeah, so I basically just put it out for myself to get it off my chest because I started writing it when I started therapy at like 18, and I finished the album when I was like 21. So
yeah,
I was just kind of documenting a little bit like how I was coping and just dealing with all the problems that come with what happened.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, are you ready to get into the album?
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
Okay, cool. And I have like 5 pages of notes, so buckle in, everybody. We're gonna talk
Perfect.
song by song. So I was describing this album to someone today as it's like hill shaped. It starts
Okay.
really kind of dark, it kind of goes upward, and then it ends pretty dark too.
Okay.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say dark is the wrong way to use, but you start and end at two lower points than the middle is. You know what I mean by
For
that?
sure.
And
Yeah.
I think one of the lowest points is the very first song, I Hate My Body. Were
Mhm.
you afraid lyrics like, I tell everyone that I'm okay, but I don't think I'll ever feel that till I close my eyes one day, would scare off the listener at the beginning of the album? Or was this purely just you're making it for you, you're not worried about whether the listener will hang on through that first song?
Um, I mean, I'm not really scared to say anything in my music. I would say I obviously with the people I listen to like Elliott Smith and stuff like that. It's just like I am very much inspired by vulnerability and
Yeah,
the ability to like just be yourself unapologetically. So when I wrote it, I was just being honest, and I feel like as long as I'm being honest, like I don't think I could mess up if I'm being honest. So
yeah,
I don't know. I made it because I feel like I needed to. So
okay.
yeah, basically like
Yes.
I made it, and I thought it was a good song, so I was like, yeah, I'll put it out. And I'm being honest here.
I didn't write down this question, but why does that first song stop so suddenly? Is there an artistic reason for that?
Like why it stops?
Yeah.
No, no, not really. I think I just said what I felt like I needed to, and there wasn't much more I felt like I needed to elaborate on with it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. I'm really excited to talk about this next song, I'm Not Meant for the World.
yeah, yeah.
Is one of my favorite songs on the album, if not my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite or not. There's so many good ones, but
Thank you.
two recurring lyrics that I'm paraphrasing here are that you love to live vicariously through people and know that you are one of them, but you also feel afraid of yourself. Is there
Mhm.
a subtle messaging in this that you're afraid of humanity at large, or are those two separate thoughts?
Um, I mean, to say what you're saying too with it, I think this one might be my favorite as well from that
Yeah.
project. I really like it. I don't know. I'm not really afraid of humanity. I don't. I think when I made it, I'm a little bit in a different mindset than I am now when I made that album. If I'm being honest,
Yeah.
I feel like I was a little more pessimistic, maybe a little more nihilistic too.
Mm,
So when I was talking about people, I like kind of didn't like people very much. I see the world as a very vast place now. Like I'm very enamored by it, and I feel like people are very beautiful. And
yeah.
at the time, I think I didn't. But I would say now, with my mindset, I don't look at the world as like an evil place, but I looked at it at that time as a very cruel place, for sure. So that's probably where it was
Oop, you're
coming.
breaking up a little bit.
Oh, what was the
Oh,
last thing
you're
you
back.
heard? Sorry.
you don't look at the world as an evil place, but looking back, maybe you thought something different, I think was where we left off.
Yeah, yeah. I think when I was writing it, I looked at the world as a very cruel, judgmental place, and I
Okay.
think that's where that was stemming from, for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I also just feel the need to point out the lyric, been stared at my entire life, but I don't think I'm ever seen, because I think
Hmm.
that's such a beautiful and really sad way to express that feeling, that I think a
Yeah,
lot of people can relate to, not the same way you can, but
yeah.
I think that line is really beautifully phrased. But I have one more question on this song, and that is the harmony, like, and I mean like, yeah, the harmony in general is very close and doesn't move much. Was there a particular reason for this? Did you want to keep it kind of compact?
I looked at that song as just like one giant just letter to everyone
Yeah,
of like what I felt. So I didn't really. It almost doesn't feel like a song to me anymore.
yeah,
It feels like just a note, you know. So I
that
don't
makes
know. And
sense.
like when you're telling a note, there's not much variety. You're just kind of saying words. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Obviously I curated the words, but yeah, I look at it as just like a little bit of a letter. So that's probably why I kept it that way. And it's funny I like that phrase a lot, but it stems from like little kids at like Walmart pointing like that's a disabled kid, mommy. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah,
kind of what it stems from. You know what I mean? So it's like a little goofy too. You know?
yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Um, I just genuinely I can't hype up this song enough. I think exactly what you were going for happened. I think you conveyed everything that you're describing you wanted to say.
Thank you.
But the next song is also lovely, and it's called Child Eyes, and it
Mhm.
features Trick the Dog.
Yeah.
And it really opens up instrumentally. It stops being this just like guitar and harmonies. Is
Mhm.
there a reason the album sonically reaches new terrain at this point?
I mean, it's a little more of like an out of body experience. That song's about body dysmorphia,
Hmm.
which I've dealt with a lot. And my homie Trick on that song is actually trans. He's the coolest. He made the instrumental.
Yeah.
And I just felt like that song needed to be a little otherworldly because sometimes you're looking at your body from an outsider perspective instead of inside it. You know? So.
Yeah, I think that really gets conveyed. And also, I just want to point out this isn't in my notes, but the actual line, the stanza where you say child eyes and how you looked at yourself differently as a kid and maybe didn't
Mhm.
uh, have these issues that you describe in the rest of the song is just such a beautifully phrased stanza. I wish I had it written out here in front of me. I should have done that, but it is so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
yeah, and it seems to me in this song you also start grappling with the idea of hope. Was it a
Mhm.
conscious decision to go between lines that make it seem like everything is all right and lines that really everything is not all right?
I mean, I very much, I say it in, we're against the last song, Cross the Bear, obviously at the end, but I was just gonna say like, I say in there like, this life's a contradiction, and I just think,
Yeah,
I think the most beautiful things are when you can believe two things at the same time, you know? So it's like, I believe there's hope, but like, I also can believe that maybe sometimes like, things just don't feel hopeful, and maybe that's just when you don't feel enough, you know? So it's like,
yeah,
I can see hope while also feeling sorrow. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
I think like I think the dabbling was very important because I know I believe many things at once. You know, my opinions changed a lot. So
Yeah, absolutely. Um, you've labeled those first three songs grief in the lyric sheet. In your
yeah,
mind, these songs all tackle grief in the same way, or were they three different facets of grief?
I mean, um, it tackles the same thing, right? Because it's like I'm saying things about me, but I try to transition Child Eyes into a little bit more of like a an outward angle instead of internal because
Yeah,
I feel like my pain isn't like obviously like I have a unique experience, but it's not just specific to me. You know, like everyone
yeah.
struggles, and I was trying to make it go from inward to outward a little bit,
I
and I
think
feel
that
like a lot
shines
of
through.
people. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started off very in my head, and then I'm trying to expand outside of my head and into my heart a little bit. So.
Do you think that correlates with the instrumentation opening up a little bit?
Yeah, yeah, it probably does.
Yeah.
Like subconsciously, that might be what I was doing, and I didn't even realize it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
yeah, no, I feel like
absolutely.
You're probably right. I feel like it starts off very acoustic and then it gets a little bit more electronic as you move forward, which is kind of nice.
Yeah,
I
that's
kinda
something I love about this album is all the way up until like Open Door, it just keeps more and more things start happening. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
all right, so my favorite song lyrically in the next section is in the next section, Love, and it's the song
Mhm.
Strangers We Ignore, and I'm just going to read a quote
Yeah.
from that. I find
Okay.
myself in people's shoes that I know will never fit me, but I'd rather try to understand than force myself to lack empathy.
Yeah.
How long did this song take you to write? Because it seems like it's to find words for like such a radical empathy when people don't always empathize with you.
Yeah. I mean, the song I probably worked some songs on here I made in like a day, and then
Yeah,
this one I think I wrote over the course of maybe a month. Um,
yeah,
on and off though, like I would just come back to, and I didn't even know if I was gonna put it on here. I'm glad I did though. But yeah, that one took probably about that long. Honestly, like when I started therapy, this might be one of the biggest things I've learned. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I grew up a little bit ignorant. You know what I mean? I grew up a little bit like you just don't know a lot about the world and stuff. And I
yeah,
was a little more, I was like religious at the time, which I'm not anymore. And you have these beliefs that aren't true about people, and then you get older and you meet them, and like I met trans people and I met like gay people, and
yeah,
you just realize how like beautiful that community is. And I think I was learning empathy through their struggle as well, and how to accept myself, and I could relate a lot to body dysmorphia with trans people. So then it just like opened up a whole thing in me about understanding them.
yeah.
Made me feel less alone when I could understand other people's struggle too, that maybe I used to be ignorant about, that I'm not anymore. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. And I think like it doesn't surprise me it took a month to write because there is a scope to this song that
Yeah.
really is very nuanced and very intellectual, but like emotionally intellectual, you know what I mean? And I was like, I bet
Mhm.
this one took a hot second because it does have
Yeah.
that scope to it.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely did it, for sure.
yeah. And then in Lighthouse, you explore a lot of interesting sonic textures. Your vocals are soaked in reverb, and there's layered sounds behind them. Was this
Mhm.
song meant to be more of a soundscape than a song focused on lyrics?
Yeah, it was a feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was turning kind of how I felt like I kind of went through a lot growing up, um, into kind of for my partner, my girlfriend. I made the song for her because she also went through a lot growing up too. So I was like, I'm learning how to deal with my childhood trauma, so maybe I can guide you and help you through the things you go through as well. And it
Yeah.
was really the feeling, and it felt like obviously a little ghostly. That one's a little haunting, but it's
It
supposed
is.
to just be like it's always this feeling I'm gonna have for you. You know?
That's
Yeah.
really beautiful. And that really opened up the song for me a little bit because that was one of them that took me a little longer to connect with.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
that's beautiful.
That
Um,
one was mixed on a cassette, which is cool.
ooh, that's so cool.
There's
Oh,
this
that's really
artist I
awesome.
like, and he mixed it for me for like $50. It was pretty cool. So that one was on
That's so
cassette.
cool.
But so cool, yeah.
And then Why Are You Scared featuring Joey Jupiter is a beautiful song about love and letting yourself fall into someone else despite the struggles. Joey's voice
Mhm.
adds a lot to this song. How did you
Yeah.
decide what song should have a featured artist and who it should be in the process of making this album?
I mean, for this album, I probably made over like 20 songs because I was just documenting like therapy and like just
Yeah.
everything I learned through it. I don't know. I had open verses for two of the songs, and Joey's like one of my really good friends. I met their partner in college, and then we started making music together, and I just
Yeah.
thought their voice really made sense for this. And
Absolutely.
I think it sounded really pretty. Like we filmed a video and stuff for it, and it just like it like sometimes there's just a connection on a song, and I feel like that one was perfect.
They truly have you both do, but they have a stunning voice. Like,
Yeah,
it
I
really,
love their voice.
it's gorgeous. I love how low it is in the mix until their
Yeah,
verse, but it's still there. The presence
yeah,
is
I love
there.
their voice.
Yeah, it's really cool. So
Joey Jupiter is really good.
that's kind of the love section.
Yeah.
Uh, and next we kind of move into understanding.
Okay.
So maybe they're all growing at their own pace is a beautiful interlude. Is the
Mhm.
conversation in it a conversation you had with a friend to lead into the next song, a friend of mine, or am I thinking too much into this?
I mean, yeah, I definitely could. That was my friend Elijah. Him and I
Yeah,
were we would just like that's that. It's funny. The audio from that's when I was like 19 years old.
yeah,
And him and I would just go to the park, and I just remember bonding with him because it was like we are both kind of suicidal and like the world sucked, and we just would
yeah,
take our cameras and go to the park and just talk about it. And I guess yeah, subconsciously, I mean, talking to a friend and then a friend of mine makes a lot of sense. So that's probably what was going on. And yeah,
yeah,
I love that one though. It was just that was also just about like learning to accept friends and people, like even if they haven't grown as much as you feel like you have, like everyone grows at their own speed, and it's about loving them and helping them get to where they need to go. You know?
and like in my whole hill metaphor I have for this album, I think this is where we're like at the top of the hill or reaching the top of the hill.
Yeah,
Things are a lot
sure.
more, yeah, things are getting a lot more positive. There's
Yeah,
still the sadness there, but it's a lot more bright in general.
yeah,
But
for sure.
speaking of a friend of mine, the lyrics read like an extended mantra and views trauma through a lens of a friend. It also
Mhm.
sonically breathes a lot more than the previous songs. My question is about the melody. How did you write a melody that captures the lyrics so perfectly, especially in the chorus? Because that melody is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I don't really know. I just moved here, obviously, but like
yeah,
I lived in Vegas for a while, and one of my long-term best friends moved in with me around the time I was finishing it, and I don't know. I had this like I have a lot of guy friends, obviously, and I just was thinking of something that we'd all like be able to like sing together, and I was trying to
yeah,
make it something you could get a bunch of like your friends to come together and sing. So I was trying to make it like kind of like infectious, and like people just want to like dance to it a little bit as much as they can
yeah,
to a folk song, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No,
So
do
that's
you
kind of
write
my
lyrics?
friend inspired me. So
That's really cool. Do you write
yeah,
lyrics first or music first?
oh, I'm definitely lyrics first. Lyrics
Yeah,
first. Oh, actually, that's probably not true. I don't really make any of my instrumentals. I buy all them, but I
yeah,
find sounds I like, and then I write to them. But I specifically look for sounds that I can write what I'm feeling to. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I care about lyrics more than the instrumental for sure, but I do find the instrumental first before I write.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Huh. Um, I'm Still Here has a country flavor with a sparse
Okay.
piano part. Um, this is just a side note. As a pianist, I'm so intrigued by what made you orchestrate this as a country ballad, but specifically with that like twinkling piano and what sounds like a Telecaster when the actual production is very indie. Like the vocal production sounds very indie, the way the instruments are produced sound very indie, but it definitely has that country sound.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, I don't really make the instrumentals,
Yeah,
which sucks. I wish I could tell you more. Like, I wish I was an instrumentalist. My hands just don't really work the way I wish they would.
yeah,
Um, but I love that one because it almost felt like there was like it's obviously like country kind of folkish rock,
hmm,
but I almost liked how like bluesy it was because I'm really inspired by blues. So the piano part I thought was beautiful. I thought it was almost a little, yeah, it was almost like a slight R&B flair, like, which I really
yeah.
liked. I thought it was kind of funky. You know what I mean?
The piano
So
part
that
is
I
so
really thought it was
cool.
cool. Yeah, I love that part. It was just kind
Yeah,
of saucy. Yeah, I kind of liked it. It was cool.
yeah. That's really cool. Also, the song has some really gorgeous harmonies. How do you write your harmonies and decide what specific words or phrases need that extra, like, oomph? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't really know. I try to sonically just think about the things I like hearing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if you listen to a lot of Bon Iver, but
Yes.
I feel like there's a lot of his harmonies in a lot of the stuff I make, you know what I
I can
mean?
hear
Like
that. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
spent a lot of winters listening to Emma forever ago. So I think when I make harmonies I'm like how pretty can I make it, you know? So
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I love the harmonies specifically at the very last line. Really gets me
yeah,
every time. I'm like, ooh, that's nice.
thank
Um,
you.
Open Door is by far the most upbeat song on the album. It at points
Yeah,
has a very like, and I mean this like accidental sounding harmony. Like the
yeah,
harmony, like it sounds like there's accidentals in there. It's
yeah,
very haunting. My
yeah.
personal theory is this song might be a reflection of forced positivity, but in the pre-chorus, beams of doubt start to shine through. Did you intend this in any way? Did you have a totally different intent writing this?
Yeah, I mean, I never have a whole lot of intentions. I just like write exactly what I'm thinking. But going back to the contradiction thing, I mean, I feel like I lived in both. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
song's obviously I feel like the most confident one on here.
Hmm.
Um, and the new stuff I'm making, I'm a lot more confident. Like I'm almost it's a big switch. But in that one, I feel like I was battling confidence with insecurity, and like insecurity with doubt, but also doubt with hope, and then with hope
Yeah.
moving forward, but also being stuck in the past. So I don't know. That one, that one's cool though. That one took like a year and a half for me to finish writing. So you
Oh
got like
wow.
6 different emotions in it. I think you can kind of feel it. You know,
Yeah, it's a,
a lot
and
going
also I
on.
wanted side note to something you said earlier. I've heard a couple of the new songs and they are incredible.
Thank you,
So for everyone listening or watching, just know cool stuff is coming after this album too.
thank you, thank you.
Um, yeah, we're gonna touch on that a bit at the end.
Cool.
But the last section of your album is titled Acceptance, and in my whole hill metaphor, which I will not let go of, I feel like this
Yeah.
is when it starts to, like, there's a hope to it, but also the tone gets darker. Um,
Hmm.
the first song in this section, I Want to Be Somebody, is about wanting to show love to yourself as a child. The line that intrigues me most is, I want to be somebody, I want to be somebody more. What is the
Yeah.
significance of the word more in this line?
I just I sometimes when you go through traumas and stuff, you feel like that's all you are.
Hmm.
Um, and I very much just want to feel like, something more than what happened to me. I want to be
Yeah,
something bigger than the thing that like kind of would ruin a lot of people's lives. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
the more is I want to be something beyond this. I want to be something like, beyond
yeah,
that. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
absolutely. That one really struck me, and I was so curious, but that makes a lot of sense. Um,
That was the first one I wrote for the album. That was the very first song.
oh, oh,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
The outro of I Want to Be Somebody is what I'm assuming is you talking directly to your child self. I just wanted to
Yeah.
say it's incredibly touching. Like, that last stanza is beautiful.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love it too. I love that
yeah,
part.
it's really, really cool. Guys, I hope you all go listen to this album. I can't talk it up enough. Um,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
2006 tells the story of how you got paralyzed as a child in this car crash. Was this a
Mhm.
hard song to write? Was it a conscious decision to make the song really, really beautiful while it's grappling with these large, dark topics?
Yeah, I mean, this song was very hard to write. I mean, in
Yes.
some parts you might hear it a little. I like cried multiple times singing that one and writing it. It's
Yeah.
kind of the story of like what happened to me. You know what I mean? So it was hard to talk about, obviously, but it's kind of crazy, but it's almost a beautiful thing to get through something like that, and
Yeah.
not have it kind of like destroy your perception of the world, and so like it's so beautiful to feel such grief. I feel like,
Yeah.
and like feel it and not ignore it, and just understand it, and very cathartic. You know what I mean? To kind of
Hmm.
to write that and record it. It was just I don't know. It's very heavy, but I meant it every word of it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that does make a lot more sense because I was like, oh my gosh, this song is so beautiful. But there's that kind of like juxtaposition of how, but that makes so much sense. And that's such a
yeah.
beautiful sentiment. Um,
Thank you.
yeah. And so we're getting near the end of the album here. So we've gotten hints of piano throughout the album, but we get a
Yeah.
full piano ballad in the song Cross the Bear. In
Yeah.
this song, you deal with contradictions, like we've talked about a little bit. What does the line, everything means nothing or nothing means it all, mean to you?
Like it could honestly mean like whatever. Like my
Yeah.
idea is kind of just I feel like everyone has their view of the world, and I think everyone
Mhm.
has perceptions and judgments and opinions, and what means nothing to me can mean everything to someone else. You know what I mean? Like it's really
Yeah.
I said afterwards like it's not our job to analyze. It's okay to just be small. It's like maybe like it's okay to just exist here, be part of
Yeah.
everything, and not have to be so central in our story.
Yeah.
Kind of exist
I
in
love
this
that.
box with reality. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Um,
Yeah.
and Cross the Bear kind of has this feeling like it's the last song on the album. But then
Yeah.
there's a
It's
song
close.
after it called Doesn't Matter Where You Go.
Hmm.
Um, The song deals with survivor's guilt and fierce loyalty, and this is the most moving vocal performance on the album. How was your
Yeah.
experience recording it and writing it, but especially recording it because it sounds very emotionally fraught?
Yeah, I brought up therapy a bunch, but
Yeah,
I got like a couple like diagnoses from my therapist that day about some things, and I just remember breaking down, and I was just like so hurt that I felt like I got so messed up by something I didn't cause, and then
yeah,
I turned that hurt basically just into resentment, and then the resentment was just pain because I felt like I missed having my sister, who I don't even remember that well, you know.
yeah,
Um, so then when I recorded it, it was just kind of like breaking down, just like what I wish could have happened. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, it was just right after therapy. I didn't write anything down. I just started singing on it, and then it was that, and I really liked it. You know? So, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I I just kind of want to say in conclusion to talking about this album, it is it is stunning. When I reviewed it on TikTok, I said it was maybe one of my I don't know if I said it was my favorite or one of my favorites or one of the most important, but it's all of those things
Thank you.
that I've
That means
reviewed over this past year of reviewing small artist music. It is
thank you.
truly, truly. I think all art is worthy in some aspect or another, but this is truly, truly very worthwhile to listen to. So I hope
Thank
if you've
you.
watched this, anyone out there, you go listen to this album. But let's take a small moment to
Thank you.
take a look at the future. So
Okay.
you've sent me two new songs that aren't released yet. They have a much different vibe than everything on Skyler. How
Yeah.
important is sonic cohesiveness in an album to you? And can you describe how this next one will be different?
Yeah, I think cohesiveness matters a lot, you know, unless you're just
Yeah,
making like a mixtape of things, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But what this next album is kind of like all over the place. Like it's 16
yeah,
tracks and about an hour long, but I think sonically it's a very cohesive story. I don't know. I'm really excited about it. It's a little more of an R&B type ish like alternative, maybe a little hip hop leaning at times. Like it's
yeah.
vastly different from the other stuff. So I'm really excited. I really like it.
Do we have any idea when this might be out? Do we have like a rough estimate?
Yeah, yeah. I'm planning pretty much fall this fall.
Oh, I am so
I'm about
excited for this.
I'm about 12 tracks in out of 16, but it's
Okay.
some of my favorite music I've ever made. I don't know if you know. Do you know what the Untitled app is?
Entitled app? I don't think so.
It's where you can pull like all your files and stuff and the things you're grouping. But I'll send you the link
Yeah.
to it after we're done here. I'll send you like what I got going. I want you to hear it first for sure.
Amazing. I'm very excited. Um,
Yeah,
I just want to say in conclusion, this was awesome. Thank you so much for doing this
yeah, of
today.
course.
Yeah, everyone, go listen to this album. It is incredible. Do you have any last things you want to say before we're all done?
I don't have much to say. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about this. This is very kind, and I'm very excited
Absolutely.
for all the new music coming out. I hope everyone likes it, and yeah, thank you so much. This has been an honor. Thank you.
All right. If you're out there watching, have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.